first story building in Nigeria.
Redeeming the image of Africa all over the world.
Yeah. Hello, everyone. Yeah, my name is Arenga, and I want to use this medium to welcome you all once again to Badagry. I'm here to bring you one of the historical places in Nigeria, not in Badagry alone, but in Nigeria. However, I won't tell you where exactly I am, but follow me and let's go. Thank you. Okay, now I have Mr. Ezekiel here. That's Mr. Ezekiel.
My name is Mr. Ezekiel.
Yeah, if you come to Badagry, he's a tour guide and he is someone that is very loyal and honest. Wherever you want to visit in Badagry, just tell him. He will actually take you there, just with talking, and you will have fun. Do you understand? Okay, so let's go now. But after this whole thing, I'm sure I will now reveal the whole place where we are to you. But start guessing where exactly are we. Gotcha. We are now in the building. Where do you think we are? Tell me.
My name is Mr. Ezekiel Soteji Viagunu. I'm the curator in charge of the first story building in Nigeria. I work for the Diocese of Badagry, Anglican Communion Church of Nigeria.
What did you just say?
I work
First story building in Nigeria. Well, some of you might have been seeing it on the internet, wherever video, but here I am live, and we are going to give you the full tour of the first story building in Nigeria. Don't go anywhere. Stay tuned and listen to Mr. Ezekiel. Thank you.
So this is the house of the missionary, and the story building, it was built in 1845 and built by the missionary in 1845. Reverend missionary being in charge of the construction of the building in 1842, and that is the man called Reverend C.A. Goman. Reverend C.A. Goman came in 1845 and completed the story building in 1845. For Reverend that laid the foundation, called Reverend Harry Townsend, who laid the foundation of the building in 1842, but the building was completed in 1845. But here in these rooms, we are going to see the materials used and to build the story building in 1842 to 1845. These are the materials called the bond bricks. The bond brick used for the foundation of the building to the lintel since 1842. And this is called the iron corrugated sheet. And that's iron corrugated sheet since 1842. And that's the materials used for the roofing of the building since 1842. I think we have full length of these materials here, and that is the full length of the materials called the iron corrugated sheet. But we are trying to compare the materials to the present material that we made in Nigeria. This is the material since 1842, and this is the present material we made in Nigeria. So we can compare the two together, and you can see the difference on the materials used for the building of this house. We also see the nails, and these are the nails used for the roofing of the building. These are the nails since 1842.
I think we have more of the nails inside of this glass here, and kept by the management to show the world that these are the materials used for the Storey building built in 1845, and this is called hinges, and to mount the door since 1842. Hinges to mount the door since 1842. That is the materials used for mounting of the door since 1842. All these materials was imported from England since 1842. But don't forget, the Storey building, it was built in 1845. I mean, the first Storey building in Nigeria, it was built in 1845 by Reverend Goman. But we have so many rooms inside of this building. We have 6 bedrooms inside of this building. We have 2 sitting rooms inside of this building, and we have 4 stores inside of this building. But we discovered there is no toilet inside of the building, no kitchen inside of the building, and no bathroom inside of this building. So kitchen, toilet, and bedroom, it was built outside of the building. Please, let's go to the next rooms and see what we have inside the next room.
Okay, let's go there. I hope you are going to show us the kitchen toilet that was built outside.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Now this is the painting of a tree called the Agia tree, but the tree name Agia, and this is the historical Agia tree. But under this tree, Christianity was first proclaimed in Nigeria in September 1842, and the first Christmas was first celebrated in December 1842. I mean, 2 things that happened under this tree in 1842. Gospels first started under this tree in 1842, and Christmas was first celebrated in December 1842. Now, 2 reverend missionaries preached under the tree and celebrated Christmas under the tree. One from Methodist Church, and his name called Reverend Thomas Bresh Freeman. The second missionary reverend from Anglican Church, his name called Reverend Harry Townsend. So Reverend Harry Townsend from the church named Anglican, and the Methodist and Anglican preached together under the tree in 1842 and celebrated Christmas under the tree in 1842. But this tree is no more standing. The tree has already fell. But on the spot of this tree now, we have a monument dated on the spot of the tree. But the tree fell on the 20th June 1959, and before the tree fell, it lasted for 350 years. So this is what we can see at the site, at the monument of the tree, at the point of that tree, and that is to show the monument of the Agia tree in Badagry. And 2 reverend missionaries that preach under the tree. We have their names here: Reverend Thomas Bresh Freeman from Western Missionary. We have the name of the second missionary called Reverend Harry Townsend. Both of them celebrated Christmas under the tree, and the tree later fell in 1959 and was replaced with a monument. Now, there's no picture to show the Christmas celebrated in Badagry, but there's a picture to show in 1923. Let's see the picture of the Christmas celebrated in 1923. And this is the picture of the Christmas celebrated in 1923. But the black was used and to celebrate Christmas by a company in Badagry called the African Oil Nurturing Company, Miller's Brothers. The Miller's Brothers have a company in Badagry, but those who work in their company, work under their company, they are black, no, they are not white, but those black are not wearing clothes, and they're being on half naked, and those black are not wearing clothes, they're being on half naked. And when you look at the chest of those black, they are not wearing clothes, but you see in their chest, and they wrote something on their chest. They wrote numbers on their chest, and they wrote letters on the chest of those black. But the first people that stand up, and you see numbers on their chest, that's 1923, that's 1923. The second line you're going to see Badagry, Badagry, and the third people that you are going to, third line you're going to see the Merry Christmas was written on the chest of those black. Now, people are saying that, oh, but slave trade have stopped, and this celebration of Christmas taking place in Badagry in 1923. Is it missionary came to Badagry to enslave us? No, missionary came here to preach their gospel and to fight the abolition of the slave trade. They're also involved in slavery indirectly, but not selling people. But they use slaves to help them in the premises of the church, to build the church or to clean the church, or to wash the clothes of the priest in the church. And that is the work of those slaves by that time. It's not that maybe they came here to enslaving us. No, they came to preach their gospel and to also support the abolition of the slave trade in Badagry in 1888. Because before slave trade stopped in Badagry, it lasted for 400 years.
This is serious. 400 years. Wow.
Now, we are now in the room of the first teacher in Nigeria. And this is the picture of the first teacher in Nigeria. And this is the picture of the first primary school in Nigeria.
Wow.
But the missionary told her that the name of the room of the first teacher in Nigeria, Mr. Claudius Phillips, 1845 to 1868. And the name of the first primary school in Nigeria was St. Thomas Primary School, established 1845 with 40 men. Now, it was men that started primary school, not women and not children. The youngest among the students that started the primary school, that been registered into the primary school by that time, his age is 45 years. And the oldest
45 years.
45 years. And the oldest among the students that started the primary school is age 58 years. And those
58.
students, before they finish primary school, they spend 12 years in primary school. And
12 years.
12 years. And this is the picture of the school. Now,
Wow.
about
First primary school in Nigeria.
go to the room of the Bishop Samuel Ajayi Crowder.
The room of
Bishop Samuel Ajayi Crowder. But before we go upstairs, we are going to read this comment. The man who laid the foundation of the building saying about this Storey building. The man saying that this house is strong and convenient and will prove very comfortable. During the erection, many persons have come to see it, especially of the single roof. It is being the first I have ever seen.
Yeah. I can testify to it because I'm here live and direct in the building. Very, very strong.
Now, this is the total estimate of the cost, the amount used to build the Storey building in 1845. And a man who built the Storey building saying something about the Storey building, that this house is built of sound of African wood, principally of what we call brimstone. It is 10 feet raised from the ground on 26 stout and durable tree called a gabe tree, and a species of coconut tree, and on 9 other smaller tree. It is 44 feet in length and 26 feet in breadth and wide. It is estimated to cost 325 pounds. The man called Reverend what? C.A. Gorman. That's the man who been in charge of the Storey building in 1845.
Wow.
Now, this is the picture of the man called Bishop Samuel Ajayi Crowder. A man called Ajayi is from Oyo State, and Ajayi is from a village in Oyo State called Oshogun Village in Iseyin local government. But Ajayi was born in 1809. 1821, age of 12 years of a man called Ajayi. Ajayi was captured as a slave and sold to Portuguese by Fulani slave trader in 1821. But the British Navy, because they have stopped slave trade in England in 1807, they returned the ship back to Africa. But instead of the ship to land where you take off, the ship landed in Freetown in Sierra Leone. Ajayi landed in Freetown in Sierra Leone and worked under missionary. Ajayi worked as utter servant, who are people that we call utter servant, those who normally work under the reverend and clean the church. Ajayi was baptized by his masters, because the reverend is a master to Ajayi, and name of the reverend called Crowder. Crowder is a master to Ajayi, and Crowder is a priest. And Crowder baptized Ajayi and named Ajayi Samuel. Samuel is the baptismal name given to Ajayi, and Crowder sent Ajayi to school. Ajayi attended a school in Sierra Leone called Forabe College. Ajayi graduated from the Forabe College, and he was sent to School of Theology and seminary school. That's School of Reverend. The man became a reverend in England and returned back home to Nigeria in 1842. Ajayi was playing the role of interpreter for the missionary. He later translated the English Bible into the Yoruba Bible. This is the first English Bible. That's the first King James version. And that's the Bible the Reverend Henry Townsend. The Bible was brought to Nigeria on the 17th December 1842 by Reverend Henry Townsend. Now, this is the Bible Bishop Samuel Ajayi Crowther used and translated to Yoruba Bible. And this is the Yoruba Bible printed by the Right Reverend Bishop Samuel Ajayi Crowther. Now, printed by a company in England, and name of the company called Lower and Brydon Printer Limited, London. Printed the Bible in 1845. Now, Yoruba Bible is now 177 years as old as this Storey building. Now, we're seeing the picture of a man, a young man that walked under Ajayi. The young man stand at the back of Ajayi, but name of the young man called Reverend Babington Macaulay. Reverend Babington Macaulay worked with Ajayi when Ajayi was ordained as a bishop, but later married to daughter of Ajayi. And name of Ajayi Crowther daughter called Abigail Crowther. Abigail Crowther was the daughter to Ajayi, but Abigail Crowther was one that gave birth to Abat Macaulay. Abat Macaulay, the man on 1 naira coins, is a grandson to Ajayi. And this is what we have inside of the room of a man called Bishop Samuel Ajayi Crowther.
History. This is serious. I've only read few things about all these things that I'm hearing, and wow, I'm dumbfounded. I really don't know what to say. However, let's continue the journey.
This is the sitting room for the missionary, and this is where we're seeing the picture of those missionaries that live inside of the building. And this is the man that first bring Christianity to Nigeria, and that is a man called Reverend Thomas Bresh Freeman, and that is the man who sowed the seed of the Christianity in Nigeria. And the second man is named called Reverend Henry Townsend, and that's the man who arrived after Reverend Thomas Bresh Freeman, and both of them celebrated the first Christmas under the tree called the Agia tree. But this is the man who being in charge of the construction of the building used and to build this Storey building. Now this is the picture of the cemetery where all the missionaries were buried, and numbers of missionaries died in Badagry and buried in Badagry is 240. That's the picture of the cemetery where those missionaries were buried. And this is the chair since 1915. The chair is now 104 years old now. That's
oh my God.
That's one of the chair of those missionaries. And now we also have the bank inside of this Storey building, because we have the where the missionary kept their offering money and some of the valuables items, and they call it First Missionary Bank. And now the bank was established in 1856, and this is the one you can see the bank the still function, and it was established in West Bromwich, London in 1856 by Susan & Son Limited, and that is the name of the company that did the safe. And this is the safe inside of the safe. I think we found money inside of the safe.
Yay!
These are some of the
I'm rich today.
Days money that we found on the safe. Wow. We're seeing some coins, and that is the money called the cowries. And cowries being recognized as currency in Africa, in Nigeria. Now, cowries in Yoruba land, we normally call it Owo-Eyo. Some part in Yoruba land called Eyowo, but if you have been to the Igbo land, they call it Ego Ayoro. And if you've been to the Hausa land, they call it Wuri. But whites couldn't recognize cowries as money for them to buy slaves. They introduced trade by barters. So they have to bring things like a gun, mirrors, umbrellas, things like that for exchange of slaves. But after the abolition of the slave trade, we are being colonized by the British, and the British came and they introduced their coins money to us. And this is the coins money introduced by the British. Although majority of the coins introduced by the British have O, but this is not the first coins introduced by the British, but this is the money called shilling. But the first coins introduced by the British, the money called farthing, 10 of a farthing equivalent to 1 penny.
And after farthing, they introduce 1 penny. And after 1 penny, they introduce 1/2 a penny. After 1/2 a penny, they introduce 1 shilling. That is the one that I'm showing you today. It's called shilling. And after shilling, they introduce pounds. And this is the pounds. So this is the pounds. Then after pounds, they introduce pence. And pence, we spent pence till 1973, when Federal Republic of Nigeria changed to Naira and Kobo. In 1973, we started spending our own coins money called 1 kobo. And after 1 kobo, we spend, this is the 1 kobo. 1 kobo. And after 1 kobo, we spend 1/2 kobo. And after 1/2 kobo, we spend 5 kobo. After 5 kobo, we spend 10 kobo. And after 10 kobo, we spend 25 kobo. And after 25 kobo, we spend 50 kobo. And after 50 kobo, we spend 1 naira. That is a man called Herbert Macaulay on 1 naira coins. I think we have.
You are going to do me a favor. In my lifetime, I've never spent what is it called? The shillings and
farthing pennies.
Farthing pennies. So let me just hold it for the first time. Wow. There you go. There you go. Wow. Wow. Oh my God, oh my God. Wow. Interesting. Wow. This is interesting. Yeah. I'm glad to be here today. And the cowrie, yes, I have been seeing cowries everywhere because it's part of our heritage here. So I've been seeing cowries, but I never spent it as money. But the shillings, I've heard about shillings, but very rare to come by. So now that I'm at Badagry in First Storey building, I'm privileged to have pennies and shillings in my palm right now.
Now this is the note money. The note money, that is the old 1 naira. Old 1 naira note. And this is the old 5 naira note.
Okay.
Then we have nails of 5 naira and nail of 10 naira.
Okay.
So, and all these not in circulation anymore in Nigeria.
This one is even stronger than Central Bank. You can see this one. Wow.
Now, inside the premises of the First Storey building, we have so many buildings built in this compound. Now, before this, the missionary built the Storey building, they first built the church in Badagry, and that is the first church built by the missionary in 1842. Although the church have collapsed, the church is no more standing, and the management is trying to build a small chapel there. When people come to Badagry, they should have a place to pray, and God is going to answer their prayers.
So this is the first church in Badagry.
The first church in Nigeria.
In Nigeria, not
The church
Badagry.
have collapsed. The church have collapsed, and this is what the management did there to just show the world. Although the plan of the management, they are trying to build a chapel there, a very big chapel that when people come, they should have a place to pray. And I believe that with the prayer, with the faith they have for the God is going to answer their prayers. And then we also have the school master house. So that is the symbol of the school master house, and that's the man called Mr. Claudius Phillips. And he later removed from the room that he was staying before. And
Okay, a room was built
yes,
here
a room was
for
built
him.
here for him. So a permanent room for him was built for him outside. Then also we also have the boarding house for the 40 men that started in primary school.
because those 40 men have the wife and children at home. So the missionary accommodate them here, and because they want them to learn fast and to continue with them and preaching gospel. And that is the boarding house for this boarding house is very big, but the place about the building have collapsed. Then we also have the kitchen were built at that place, and that's where the kitchen were built. And all the buildings have collapsed, but we are trying to show all the signboard that putting on the spot of the where the building were built before. And this is the site of the kitchen were built at the back of the building. Because as we are seeing the Storey building here, I think this is the back, the other one is the front. This is the kitchen, where the kitchen were built. Although where the toilet and bathroom were built, they are building some structures there now, and I think they are building the structures there over there now. So they are not more giving us the signboard. They are not putting the signboard on that place. But we want to sing the well, because the well's name, there was something on the well, which we have to talking about, that this well, it served people who live in Badagry, and the well water called the Miracle Well. Is it Badagry people that name it Miracle Well, or those missionaries that live inside of the building named the well Miracle Well? But this well, it was dug by the missionary in 1842. When the well dug by the missionary in 1842, the water inside of the well served those missionaries that dug the well, and served people that live in Badagry. And then people living in Badagry, they have a well. They have been digging wells before the missionary came. But well water that we have in Badagry, it have color and it have taste. Because we don't have clean water in Badagry. Most well water we have in Badagry, it have color and it have taste. So except only this well water in Badagry that is clean and tasteless, the water is drinkable. And that's the water served the whole of people live in Badagry since 1842. And since 1842, it have never dry and it have never changed color. And people are still coming to these premises, coming here to fetch water and to drink of water. But we have not talking about how the well named what? Miracle Well. People that come here, the tourists that visiting the 4-story building, people heard the stories about the well, and this well, it was dug in 1842, and it have never dried. People take the water at home. They believe that God can do it, and they take the water at home. People pray on the water, and God answer their prayer, and they name it what? Miracle Well. And some people call it water of life. Depends how God do it for you. And let me fetch the water out for you to see.
This is interesting.
Maybe
let's see how the water looks like. It's not even deep
at all. You can see the water.
Wow. Oh wow, tastes nice.
So we are drinking from the waters named
Tastes
Miracle Well, and that is the water dug by the missionary.
I'm looking for
in
miracle now.
1842. So I'm received the miracle now. So thank you very much for coming to Badagry, and thank you very much for visiting the 4-story building in Nigeria. Don't forget, my name is Mr. Ezekiel Viabonu Soteji. Work for the Diocese of Badagry Anglican Communion Church of Nigeria. I work as a curator, tour guide in Badagry. Thank you very much.
Are you on Facebook or Instagram?
Yes, I'm on Facebook. So if you want to go on the Facebook, we just type Ezekiel Viabonu. So it's sent that's my name on Facebook.
Thank you.
Then you
very
can also
much.
check at 4-story building in Nigeria. We have a photos book for the 4-story building in Nigeria.
Okay, as in website?
Yeah, the Facebook.
The Facebook. Okay, the Facebook. Yes, that's good. So if you want to know more about all these stories, history that Mr. Ezekiel has talked to us about, just log into your Facebook 4-story building in Nigeria. You will get all these details there. I don't think there's anything we need to say other than to say thank you for taking us around the 4-story building in Nigeria. In fact, from what I can see, it's like everything first here in Badagry. Is Badagry the first place to be established in Nigeria, or what? Why is everything Badagry? First church, Badagry. First primary school in Nigeria, Badagry.
Oh, Badagry is ancient town in Lagos State, and Badagry was founded in 1425.
Wow.
And slave trade, through the slave trade, civilization came to Badagry, because the slave trade began in Badagry in 1502. In 1502, Portuguese established the market called the slave market, and that's where the slave are being auctioned in Badagry. So, and after the slavery and before the abolition of slavery, the missionary came. They also brought what? Christianity religion to Badagry. And education that we are talking about today, called the Western education, started in Badagry. So that's the reason why Badagry, as one of the historical and ancient town in Lagos State, that everything is first, because civilization started from here.
Okay.
Badagry.
Now, my next question is this: we've heard about the first first church, first story building. Do we have the first mosque here?
No.
Where do we
because
have the first mosque?
We have the first mosque in the
Nigeria.
north. In the north.
Okay, it's in the north.
In the north, because the Islamic came to Nigeria before the Christianity, but the Islamic land in the north. So,
Okay.
and before it came to the west. So, and because the Christian missionary came to the west before the missionary came.
Okay, now I got it. So maybe when next we have the opportunity to visit the north, we will try to search and look for the first mosque in Nigeria. I hope with this little explanation, without being here, you've been here already. So thank you for taking your time to watch this video. Don't forget to give this video a giant thumbs up if you really enjoyed it, and remember to subscribe if you have not subscribed, because this is just the beginning. Thank you, and God bless. Oh, double.